Hi there. Today I'm going to share some stamping using the Concord and Ninth Turnabout stamps. If you haven't heard of these are super fun. They have lots of different variations that you can make multiple looks with. So this is one stamp set called the Stitched Turnabout, and this is what the front looks like. I've got it out of the pack, and on the back it shows you what it looks like stamped 1, 2, 3, and 4 times. And then this particular stamp set, the center can be stamped with or without. So if you don't put the little center in, you get this. And you can also just stamp the little circle. So I'm going to use that one today. I only have 3 of them right now. They're very addictive. This one's called a Wreath Turnabout stamp set. Now this one does 2 different wreaths. It does this one, and then you have a round one. And on the back, those are the examples of what it looks like stamped 1, 2, or 3, or 4 times. And you can use 1 color, 4 colors, 2 colors. Just, it's fun to play with it and see what turns out from them. They're very fun. This one is called a Painted Petals Turnabout stamp set. Now this was like a kit box that I got. It come with the dies and some ink. And I'll show you the back of this one. That's what that one looks like. And it also comes with a little book. There's some samples on the back. There's samples with the dies. And on the inside, it gives you directions on how to use them. Now, this kit did come with the jig, turnabout jig. And I believe they all come with them now. Used to come separate. This is your turnabout jig. This is how you get them to line up in your stamping tool. So I will demonstrate that. The stamp tool I'm going to use today is the stamp is from Stampin' Up. Their stamp platform uses or has 2 plates that come with it. They're exactly the same. I don't need the extra one today, so we'll just put that to the side. And these are the bar magnets that come with it. It does have the foam insert to use with photopolymer or rubber stamps. So to set this up, this is your jig. You're going to want to lay this down into your stamping tool. I'm pushing it up against the corner there. And you take the stamp. This is a very large one. And it's got the sentiments and some other shapes with it and some little leaves and that. So peel it off of there. And I'm going to use the center. I think I will not use the center one. I'll just make it a circle. Now this comes with every stamp set. Every stamp set has their own. It's upside down. It's on an acetate, clear acetate piece, and it has the stamp printed on there, and it has this X. This one has those kind of cut into them, into the jig. So you put your turnabout jig in there and make sure you line that up. Since these are both the same, almost the same size, it's going to be pretty easy to line that up. The smaller ones are a little different size to line up, but you basically just line up your lines to line. I need a magnet to hold that in place. So take your acetate. There's your center point. And all your lines line up. Get that lined up, because if they're not lined up well, you're going to stamp on top of another image, because the way these are created is to occupy each specific place in the stamp. So I'm going to put my magnet on there now that I have it all lined up. Now you take your stamp, smooth side up, and you figure out on this jig where it starts. So there's the heart. We'll start with that. And you line up your stamp to the images on the acetate sheet. And it's fairly large enough to where you can wiggle that around. I don't want to move you don't want to move your acetate sheet while you're finagling your stamp around. So let's hold that up so I can see if it's lined up well. Looks like it to me. So now you just take your stamping tool lid and press your stamp right into that and lift. And we do not need the acetate piece once you have your stamp on there. So we can set that to the side. And I've already cut a piece of cardstock, 6x6. The cardstock that I use 99% of the time is Stampin' Up's cardstock. This is the Whisper White. It is ultra smooth, so it's perfect for stamping. Now, I'm going to leave my jig into my tool, and they are marked 1, 2, 3, 4. So you stamp, turn, and continue on. So that Painted Petals kit came with this as well. This is a removable adhesive. So I'm just going to run a line of that right onto that jig. And then take my cardstock and put it right in there. And that's it. So when I put that down, I can kind of see where I can put my magnets so they're like not in the way. Because I'm still going to hold that down even though that's a fairly large stamp. Alright, so these are the inks I'm going to use. They are Concord 9th inks. They did come with that one kit, but I've been really happy with the way they stamp, so I like that. I'm going to use that today. This one is called Grapefruit. I know they're a little cube and they're kind of small. I don't have the large ones, but I might just have to get some more of their inks. They are on a foam pad. The large ones are as well. It just takes a little bit longer to ink up your stamp when you have a ink cube. So put that down into your paper, press, and if you're happy with the color of it, go on. I think I need a little bit more ink. I didn't get quite enough over there. And good. So now we need to wipe off the stamp, get all the ink off. And go on to our next color. So before we do that, we need to move the paper. So we do it one turn. Sorry, there's something on my paper there. The magnet's just totally stuck together. Wrinkled up my paper. Alright. This is a 6x6 size anyways. It will be cut down to what I use it for, because most of the cards that I make are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Could put it on a 5x7, I suppose, card size, but I just make the whole thing. Alright, let's see what this one's got a lot more ink in it than the other one. This color is called Peacock. I think that looks good. It's got a lot of ink on it, so I'm going to take my little rag and get some of that off first. I'm just using this is actually a car chamois that I cut down, because a lot of craft companies now have, like, they call a stamp chamois. This is just a car chamois. It works just the same. You just wet it down when you want to use it, and then when you want to use it again, once it dries out, take it to the sink and rinse out. It'll get some of that ink out of there, so you don't wipe your stamp with ink, a different ink color. Alright, so on to the next turn. And this color is called Stardust. Kind of a yellow-green. Normally I would probably go a little slower with the ink pad and not get it all over, but for time purposes, I'm just putting it all over. It's a little bit down there. The magnet might be in its way a little bit. That's good. Alright, so wipe the ink off one more time. So these are fun to use in just a monochromatic color. You could use one color. I have done lots of different backgrounds with just one color. It looks just fine. Alright, last color, called Aqua Sky. And I like this stamp set too, because it does kind of look like stitching. The little images on it. And then that big heart. I might just stamp one of those right in the center. I haven't done that before. Not too bad. A little bit more on the edges. So I have not seen anything quite like these turnabout stamps at all. It's much different than it's similar to a background, but not. I mean, if you had a background stamp, you would have to ink up like different parts of the background stamp. I guess. I like these. These are fun. I will probably most definitely be adding more in different sets to my collection. So that is the final result. This is stamped 4 times. I love that. Love, love, love these sets. So I still have my paper stuck onto that jig, but I want to stamp just that heart, and I don't need the little acetate jig for that. This is the heart that comes with it, or the stamp also that comes with that. I don't think I have used that before. So let's place that right in the center. There is something on that stamp. I'm going to wipe it off before I use it. Definitely put my magnets in there. Sorry, my dog's barking. Now, if it comes up, doesn't matter. Just put your magnets back down. Alright, since I haven't used that, I am going to wipe that off. Kind of prime up that photopolymer. And I am going to stamp that with the grapefruit ink. See what we get with that. Look. Cute. I like that. Now you can still add sentiments around that. Let's get that off of there. So just as like a size comparison, the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This is like the regular card front size. So let me get the jig off there. Don't need that. That removable tape, you can just wipe it right off. Just fine. Nobody's going to see the back side. This would be cute in scrapbooks too. But there's plenty of that. Yeah. So it's going to come right to about like there. But if you cut those off, even if you made it right at 4 1/4, you can still use these edges as like a border on another card, or you could put them on the inside of the card. That would be cute too. So I have a video I did last week showed that other stamp set. This is the painted petals. Now this is done in just all purples. So you could definitely get a whole background with this. Now if you used the center in this particular stamp set, this is the center. It looks kind of funny, but this is the other stamp in that stamp set. So if I wanted to make this solid, you would put this in there also and line it up on your acetate piece before you start stamping. See, it's got the center pieces in there. And then you would have just a whole background, and it would come out similar, you know, solid like this. And then you can cut it down to whichever size you want as well. So I love them. I think they're cool. I definitely hope they keep making these because they're fun. I really enjoy them. So I just wanted to share those stamps with you. If you don't have any of these and you have a few extra dollars, I would say go get one. Get one or two, even if you got the little one to start with. You get 2 different looks out of this one. So go have fun, and thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.